Rushed into production immediately after the Earth Alliance Civil War, the Warlock-class destroyer incorporates some of the most advanced technologies available. At a length of some 1,992 meters, the Warlock-class destroyer operate with a crew of 485 officers and 1,200 auxiliary personnel. The ship was capable of transport up to 12,000 light infantry assault marines, or up to 4,500 armored mechanized heavy brigades, with full equipment for 15 days of operations. The Warlock-class destroyer was the first Earth Alliance ship to feature artificial gravity generated by energy fields. Earth Force first contact with gravimetric technology was during the Dilgar War. At that time Earth was able to get some of the basic concept of artificial gravity thanks to research based upon what was left of the Dilgar technology. Despite all the potential presented by Earth Force, the research went slowly due to lack of financial support from EarthGov. Only after the Earth-Minbari War the situation changed. It was clear for EarthGov that this technology was one of the key factors for the Minbari success in battle. Though with the Omega, Earth was capable to rebuild its force and improve its capabilities, that was just the beginning. What Earth really wanted was a ship so powerful to act as a spearhead of the Omega task forces against the Minbari cruisers, and so the Warlock project begun. The research brought as a first product the first Gravitic enhanced fusion reactors, based on technology extracted from the debris of Minbari cruisers that were destroyed during the war, usually at an insane cost in lives and resources. Those hybrid reactors had the same dimensions of an Omega reactor but were able to put out near 3 times the power. This technology also contributed to the development of an enhanced version of the Omega particle engine. The Warlock's 4 conventional particle engines paired with 4 fusion reactors were supplemented by 2 hybrid particle engines paired with 2 Gravitic enhanced fusion reactors. This allowed the ships to operate in the same level of the Omega, having greater speed and maneuverability, but with the same power availability for the weapon feeding of a Minbari war cruiser. The surplus of energy also allowed the 2 jump engines installed on the ship to recharge faster than the Omega's counterpart. At this point Earth Force was already trying to create artificial gravity from the Gravitic reactors, but the technology was too unstable. The final piece of the puzzle came immediately after the end of the Earth Alliance Civil War, when the newly formed Interstellar Alliance, through a cooperation program with the Minbari government, helped Earth Force to refine a concept of gravitic cage and create true artificial gravity environments. The modularity of the hull and the design of the frame, combined with the high energy output of the new reactors, allowed Earth to install a wide variety of offensive and defensive emplacements. The most notably weapon was the 2 Aegis heavy particle cannons, later known as the God Cannons, located under the nose just over the launch bay. The early models of God Cannons had 3 large accumulation rings, but as the technology evolved it became possible to build weapons with an elongated design powered by dozens of small rings. That allowed this weapon to be installed in the hull of a ship. The drawbacks of the God Cannons are the low rate of fire and the dimensions, that imposes a spinal installation. The ship also featured 2 large missile racks placed on the 2 sides of the hull. Each rack holds 6 large missile silos and 8 smaller silos with automatic reloading system. The ship also feature an impressive variety of weapons. 9 heavy phased plasma pulse cannons, similar to the Nova plasma cannons but with a longer range. 3 heavy railgun cannons, with a high rate of fire and capable of pierce the main hull armor of a Minbari warcruise regardless the impact angle and impact point. 4 medium pulse particle cannons placed over the recovery bay. Those weapons were able to operate in dual mode, with a light particle beam for the higher distance, and a plasma pulse for the medium and short range. 9 light plasma pulse turrets similar to the ones in the Olympus corvette but with a longer range. 16 short-range plasma pulse turrets with a smaller design better suited to the anti-fighter and anti-missile defense, due to the higher rate of fire. These light weapons were part of the Mark III interceptor grid and were capable to saturate the surroundings of the ship with fire. This feature allowed the ship to accurate intercept fighters and missiles as well disrupt incoming plasma-based weapons, mitigating its effect. The ship's defense consisted of 16 to 22 meter armored hull, the Carbonate 6 multi-layer composite armor. This armor have the same characteristics of the Carbonate 5 armor used on the Omega, with the addition of an intermediate layer of nanotechnological armor based on the shadow technology. That made the armor incredibly effective against energy-based weapons. Acting together with the armor, the defense grid projectors Mark III provide a defensive electromagnetic shield against the particle beams and plasma ion bolts, mitigating its effect on the hull of the ship. The ship's primary sensor, navigation, and communications suite is located on the bow of the ship and includes a set of retractable panels that allow the ship to travel further off the hyperspace beacons and thus extend the ship's operational range beyond that of older designs. In addition to human technology, an unknown shadow device is buried somewhere in the Warlock's control systems. The exact purpose and function of this device is unclear. The large dimension and mechanical sturdiness of the hull structure allowed the ship to host a large hangar, capable to hold up to 48 Thunderbolt Starfury, 16 assault shuttle, 32 atmospheric shuttles, as well a large complement of maintenance drones for repairs and resupply activities. The primary launch bay, located on the bow of the ship, was used only to deploy fighters and included a blast door to prevent the bay from scooping up debris in the ship's path. The recovery bay, located amidships on the starboard side, was used to recover fighters. That also worked as a launch bay for auxiliary aircraft. There are also, along the lower flanks of the hull, 2 large hangar bays for cargo and ordnance resupply. The Warlocks is the first of a new generation of ships. Following the polyvalent concept of the Omegas, it is able to perform at optimal level almost all the roles required to a first-line military unit. The overall design and development of the Warlock has shown to be exceptionally well done. It has power, room, and structural strength well in excess to allow improvements and developments well beyond a yet excellent actual standard. Operationally, the Warlocks have performed very well. In a combat situation, the only real disadvantages respect to a Minbari Charlene cruiser are the lack of a stealth system and the fuel consumption that hampers the endurance of the human destroyer, but the offensive power is impressive thanks to the extremely effective weapons, the superior accuracy of the targeting systems, and the strong defense. An ordinary ship even as powerful as the Drakh cruisers has literally no way to beat a Warlock at the short distance. The volume of fire developed by the high rate of plasma pulse cannons and the unstoppable piercing power of the heavy railguns are absolutely devastating, and a point-blank discharge of the God cannons is easily a definitive reply against every opponent. At longer distances, the exceptional power of the God artillery is well supported by the potent missile battery and by a large fighter line based upon the excellent Thunderbolt Starfury. The same levels of excellence are proven in the defense systems. The interceptor grid ensured a high protection against plasma weapons, missiles, and fighters, while the energy projectors in combination with the multi-layer composite armor has shown to be extremely impervious to all the attacks, included the most powerful beam weapons used by the younger races. During the Drakh War, the well-concealed layer of shadow armor proved itself impervious to the Drakh weapons. Please, if you like this video, remember to like, share and subscribe. I'll be posting videos regularly. Thank you for watching.